we are each going to name 5 games that we've got on our backlog. The only rules here are that you can't have played it for more than just a little bit. Like if it's one of those games that you're, a good chunk, let's say a third of the way ish or more into, then that doesn't count. You've already played enough of that game to decide if you're going to keep playing it or not. So these are games that if you've played, it's barely at all, or you haven't played them at all, but they're kind of on your backlog. And they're ones that I'm assuming if you've picked these 5 out, you're okay with being told
What
to play.
if I'm gonna try to change the rules a little bit? What if you have played a lot of it, but it was like 15, 20 years ago, and it's like still lingering over, like you feel the weight and the pressure to play that game, but you've never finished
Did you
it.
hear what he said?
I want to
kidding.
change the rules.
That was so serious. That was so serious.
Wow. Sold that.
I felt like I was in trouble. I was like, oh, Kyle.
For those that aren't listening,
That's angry dad energy.
I honestly, it's fine if you want to suggest that one, as long as
I
you've
was
got.
gonna do it anyways. Just
I don't
point,
have.
like-
I don't even have one on a list, so yeah, I don't
You
know
only
why
have
I'm like.
one?
I could be using this time to make a list instead of grilling Derek right now. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
this was actually hard for me because my backlog's list's not that bad. So
All right, so
Not
I'll go,
either. I play
I'll go
everything I
first
play,
to give you
so.
guys a chance if you need to fill out your list. At least give us 3 to choose from. 5 would be best to kind of be like
got
your
5.
games that.
Yep.
And so I'll give you my 5 first. And the idea is you 4 together are going to tell me which game sometime this week I have to sit down and spend some time diving into it. Now, whether that means an hour, depends on the game. Like if it's a 70-hour game, I should play it for probably 4 or 5 hours this week if I get a chance, or maybe into next week. If it's a shorter game, like I've got one here that I'm not going to list. It just didn't make my list, but Night in the Woods is one I've always had on my list but never played it. That's a
Ooh.
shorter
Don't worry
adventure
about it.
game.
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
That's a shorter one, but I think I would only need to play that one for like an hour, maybe hour and a half to get an idea of that one. So, all that to say, here are my 5, and you guys tell me which one I should go for. So, number 1, first option is Bayonetta 2. Never played that one. I've got it. I own it, sitting there. I just haven't played it. I was always kind of
That's
waiting.
the one. You don't have to finish your list. You
I
need
was
to go and
waiting
play that
for
one.
I was waiting for Bayonetta 3. So Bayonetta 2. Prey.
We're done here.
Prey. The reboot of Prey, the
Eh.
newer version of Prey. I think it was 2017, I think was that one.
I'm not the one to sell you on that one. That's for sure.
That's going on my list. It's a good one.
Sleeping Dogs.
oh
Oh my God.
But Tim.
Nope, this is done now.
a
No,
visceral,
it's
a
real
visceral
done.
reaction from Kyle.
I know. Batman Arkham Origins is the only
Oh.
Batman game I haven't played of that series. Arkham Origins.
Yeah.
But you played all the other ones, right? The main 3.
I have. I just haven't played this one. That's the only one I haven't played out of all of them. I own it on Steam. I think I told this a long time ago, but anyway, just real quick, I own it on Steam, and then the PC that I had at the time just couldn't run it smoothly, so I just kind of backlogged it and never went back to it. And I was trying to decide between the Surge 2, which I bought on sale, or Disco Elysium. And so I'm going to go with, because I just played a whole lot of a Souls-like, I'm going to go with Disco Elysium instead of the Surge 2 for my other one. So there's my, I think that's 5, right? Did I give you 5?
Yeah.
I know what Jeff's gonna pick.
I'm going to vote Sleeping Dogs.
Oh, I thought you were gonna pick Disco Elysium.
No, because, I mean, I know you're going to have fun with Sleeping Dogs, and you've already had the Batman experience before. The other 2, I can't speak to Bayonetta. I'm not the right person to sell you on Prey. It just wasn't for me in the first few hours I played it. But
So you're picking
Sleeping Dogs is
Sleeping
my
Dogs.
vote. Yeah.
Okay. So again, to recap, it's Bayonetta 2, Prey, Batman Arkham Origins, or Sleeping Dogs, or Disco Elysium.
Yeah. Disco
I-
Elysium is definitely a must in general, eventually, but it's just,
Yeah.
I feel good about recommending you Sleeping Dogs.
I'm gonna game my vote because I know you're gonna play Bayonetta 2 at some point because you want to play Bayonetta 3. So I don't need to
Yeah.
cast that vote towards you. So play Sleeping Dogs, 100%.
All right.
Yeah, I definitely Sleeping Dogs.
Oh,
Sleeping Dogs.
all right.
That game rolls, man.
Yeah,
Unanimous.
Tim, you're
Shocked we
welcome.
never got a sequel.
You're welcome, man.
So
Yeah,
for
we
me-
were
So
supposed to get a
disappointing.
movie starring Donnie Yen for the longest time too, and that never happened.
Sleeping Dogs. All right. So Tim has to play. How many hours do I need to play to?
I mean,
I don't know
it's
how
an
long I've
open
ever beat
world
it.
game. It's
I mean,
kind of
I-
lengthy,
if you
right?
play 2
Yeah.
or 3 hours, you're gonna go, yeah, I've played an open world game before.
Yeah,
Got it.
But like,
That's fair.
just getting those first like 2 or 3 hours of vibes of like, cool, this is how the
Yeah.
shooting feels,
Okay.
how the combat
Yeah,
feels.
there's more
I think you'll
there's
get it.
more with the melee and the parkouring
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
that's more involved than other open world games like that.
All right.
Yes,
But-
that's
Especially the hand-to-hand combat. Yeah.
Sleeping Dogs. It is. Jeff, what are your options for us?
Same as I'm gonna pick the second one. Bayonetta 2 has been my list. This is one I've never played. Now we're going in the territory of games that I've only played 1 to 3 hours of. Dishonored. Didn't play more than 3 hours of that one.
The first
Skyrim. Only played a couple hours.
Oh, Kyle, did you hear that?
Breath of the Wild. Only played a couple hours.
Okay.
BioShock. Haven't played it at all.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
All right. So we're gonna start with Derek this time, and then we'll work our way back. But so it's Bayonetta 2, Dishonored, Skyrim,
BioShock.
Breath of the Wild.
I
and
had a
BioShock.
feeling. I had a feeling you would say BioShock.
I gotta be
Well,
honest.
I think it's the more realistic one that you could actually.
And yeah, and I would say pick one that you like. I'm trying to pick one that I know all of you are gonna enjoy. Like some of these are like, I don't know. Some of these are daunting for sure, but like I still want you all.
Well, you're
to-
not having to finish it,
but-
so.
That's true. That's a good point.
I'm split between Dishonored and BioShock. I know they're both first-person games. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go BioShock. I think you'd love the story and the setting, and it is fun to play. I'm gonna go BioShock 2 for this one.
Okay.
BioShock.
BioShock has a lot of twists.
I would love
So-
that. Yeah.
So it's
Dan, what do you think?
amazing.
I mean, I was gonna say Skyrim just because that would be fun, but you could literally wander and just do a bunch of random nonsense and just be like, I didn't really get anything out of that experience.
Yeah,
Like you have to want to play Skyrim and play for like 30 hours and be like, I did some stuff.
This
so.
is like the epitome of if you get 6 seasons in, you're gonna the show really starts blossoming. This is that in video game form. Yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
funny.
BioShock. Because if you haven't, you never finished BioShock, the first
I
one.
don't even think I've touched it. I
Oh
think
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
you
and I-
gotta
two-
experience.
I think
I don't know if
it'll
Infinite-
grip you from the opening scenes.
Yeah,
man.
you
I
gotta
think
experience
that'd be-
BioShock for sure. Yeah.
Kyle, you
So-
disagree? What do you think?
Yeah, don't play Bio. Don't. That's fine. God, I don't know. I Bayonetta 2 for you, but for sure. Like this,
Okay.
I think you have so much fun with that game.
All right, so you've got our votes, Jeff, but ultimately you can kind of pick. I mean, we've obviously 3 of us say BioShock. Dan was
With-
thinking Skyrim. Kyle's saying Bayonetta 2. Which one?
With
do you
how
guys-
much-
I said BioShock.
Yeah.
Okay, Dan said okay.
Yeah, ultimately BioShock.
With
yeah.
how much you guys and the group as a whole talks about BioShock, I think I'm gonna go with that one.
People love
Okay.
Bioshock. That is an
Yeah.
industry darling. So
I
All
think what's-
3 of the BioShock games are
Bioshock Infinite has one of my
9
favorite
to
stories.
10
Thank you, Kyle.
All video
Kyle,
games.
I was just gonna say that, like, I think the first one is great. The second one, I can't even remember a lot of the story from the second one. I'm not saying it's bad. It doesn't
It
stick
was
with me.
good.
BioShock Infinite, I thought was just such a good story.
I remember when that game wrapped up, I was like jaw gaped, like
And the
like, it just-
DLC, the
so
DLC for Infinite like really closes out what they already did amazingly in
Sweet.
in the actual main game. So they actually did DLC right, meaning the game ended, it felt satisfied, and then they went and made DLC to go, hey, here's more of it to actually blow you away.
Hmm.
But so to me, BioShock and BioShock Infinite are 10 out of 10s, and then BioShock 2 is like a 9. It always gets crapped on, but it's actually really good.
Yeah.
Cool.
A BioShock.
And I
Alright.
did pick the first one deliberately too, because I know that I'm more excited to play Infinite based on the more unanimous praise I've heard, especially from Kyle and stuff.
boy.
But like, I know that if I start on BioShock, then I'm gonna want to go through the entire thing
I
anyway.
think
It's
you
good.
will appreciate Infinite more after you go through the tone of the original.
Yeah, I
Bio.
think so
Yeah.
too. And I
They're
think
so
the Infinite's
contrast
more.
from each other.
I think so
Yeah.
too. Yeah, it's so much more socially like on point.
Yeah.
Bioshock Infinite, like
Agreed.
to today's standard, from when it came out to like now, like it's more of a game or a story you would tell today, than you would.
Andrew Ryan is Donald Trump, just so you know. So you can
I
enjoy it.
mean, yeah, sure, yeah.
Gonna be great. I'm gonna shock them biotically.
Biotically
It's
with
gonna
my
be huge.
There's a light tower. There's always a light tower.
All right. Donald, I mean Dan, give us your selections.
the light tower.
There's always a light tower. I'm
It's
gonna get the
huge.
biggest. Yeah, I was gonna
Huge.
say my light
The
tower is
biggest,
so
the
huge.
biggest,
My
excuse me,
light
excuse me.
My light tower is bigger than your light tower. It's so huge.
All right, now you sound like Arnold. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Let's
My
go.
light
Dan,
tower.
what are your
I don't know what that
selections?
voice was.
Give us your
Um,
list, y'all.
Who is your daddy and what does he do? So I chose, let's see here, Anno Mutationum, which I did start, but I played less than an hour. Jeff, honestly, I think
How are any of us gonna recommend that to you? That's like
I
a brand
think-
new game.
yeah, but I mean, it looks super cool. I think you guys honestly would like it. It's
What
got
is
really
it?
cool. It's basically like Cyberpunk. It's a Cyberpunk game, but it's like side scrolling and it's more like pixelated looking, but it's actually really beautiful pixelated art.
No, yeah, I do want to play that, but this is like I don't know.
Okay.
So I picked that Lost in Random because I have wanted to play that. I put Fable 2 or 3, whichever is best. I don't know which one actually people
Well,
prefer.
I've got thoughts there. Okay.
Mass Effect Andromeda because I never actually got around to that.
Oh,
I know,
man.
I know Derek and Tim love that one.
I love
Andromeda. I freaking love that
I
game,
think
dude.
it's so awesome, man.
Okay.
And then the last one, Dreamscaper. I had played that back when it was in early access,
All right,
but only for
stop
like an
talking,
hour. or two.
Andromeda.
Yeah, I'm with Derek, dude.
Oh, you know what?
Andromeda.
You tell me to stop talking. I'm not choosing that one at all.
Wait, I want to take that to say with the Fable thing because
All right,
I have a lot of thoughts on Fable too, and
So-
Sure.
Fable as well.
Fable-
So which one do people like more though, generally?
Fable
Two,
2.
right?
Fable 2.
Yeah.
2? Okay.
Yeah. So Fable 1, I still think is
Fable's
a fun game to
really
experience.
good.
I think
I
Fable
think one's my favorite still, to be honest.
One is
Oh,
still
really?
really
Okay.
fun, and it's a really great story. The anniversary edition it actually looks surprisingly good for how old it is.
plays,
Like,
plays well too. Yeah.
plays well.
If you've got
I
a
think
nice PC, play Fable
Right.
Anniversary Edition on it.
it's really good. Fable 2 though takes the gameplay to the next level. It's really cool
Right,
RPG style where what you do is where you get your experience from. I love that
They
idea.
take out all that pesky dying too, so you don't have to worry about that ever again.
I loved Fable 2. I thought it was really good. Fable 3 had some good moments, but then some of the stuff they do with the story and some of the second act of
Yep.
things, I just didn't like it as much.
Yeah,
But
I like 3 more than most people.
I didn't hate it.
I
didn't hate
like
it,
3, I just don't remember it. It wasn't memorable to me.
Yeah,
and then
I
I
haven't played
heard
any of
the
those games. That
internet
wasn't
told
even
me
on
I
my
wasn't
radar.
supposed to like it, so I
Yeah.
was like, oh, Fable 3
yeah,
is
Fable
bad.
was like if the Monty Python Guild decided they wanted to do a Skyrim game, like
Yeah.
that's like so it's
okay.
very
Oh,
like
that's
cheeky
fun.
and tongue in cheek, lots of fart jokes and like cheeky humor, and
I'm here
it's
for
very
jokes.
cool.
So I will say this,
I'm a
though.
huge fan of that series myself.
Knowing that you just finished Chrono Cross Remastered and that you are also planning on trying to wrap up Elden Ring, I'm going to recommend you
Right.
play Mass Effect Andromeda just for the style shift from both of those types of games
Sure.
and not go back to another fantasy setting with magic and all that stuff. So I'm going to say ME Andromeda. I also think you'll really enjoy it. It's a super fun game.
Yeah, dude. Oh,
I
I think that game got harped on weight. Like,
Well, I
there's
know it's
no
gotten-
reason that game.
That's my pick.
It's been
Yeah.
patched, obviously, to the point where I think anybody that had those initial complaints, it's like,
Mhm.
well, now
But
those
you can't
don't hold
patch a
up, right?
story, which people had problems with, like the story. Which there's no
Okay.
problem with the
Well, I
story.
thought it was
or
I thought a lot of
anything.
it was the jank and stuff.
There was
but-
there was some jank, but like
Wasn't
the
it bad?
lingering
There's
issues
still
that people talk
some.
about.
There's still some quirks in it now, but
Gameplay.
it's not
Well,
anything.
like
gameplay
the choices
not
you
bad.
make are really like they don't have the gravity that they did in
Sure.
the
It's a
trilogy, but it's not really
self-contained
about
story.
that either. Yeah.
It's a
yeah.
self-contained story with an idea of how it could continue, which I don't think they're going to, but they could have. But they do a good job of containing the story, and it feels
Mhm.
good, and it's good.
Yeah.
It's a fun
I think it's
experience.
just because the stakes
Andromeda-
feel lower. That's the only reason that people are like.
Andromeda is
Oh.
like the Order 1886 to me, and that is
Oh, okay. Well,
it's
I love
like
that
a
game,
game
so
that I
it's
know
fine.
I'm never gonna get another sequel to, but the
Yeah.
story and
I
characters
love
are
1886.
actually really cool that
Yeah.
I really want it, and that's why I was so mad at gamers for crapping on Andromeda,
Yeah.
because if they actually would have given it a chance, it has good characters, it has a good story,
That's
and
great characters.
they have a lot of secrets like to the dad and stuff like that they try to reveal. They
mean,
had a sequel built into this.
I'm
They
wondering
had-
if they will somehow tie it, because I mean, it does exist, unless they just completely just don't acknowledge it.
Well, they're on
The
two
new
different
one.
timelines at this
They
point
could-
because
they
they
could
had to
retcon it.
travel like 20,000 years.
They're going
you
to
know,
act like it didn't exist. And
They
they
are,
have-
yeah. Mass Effect 4 is probably going to be called Mass Effect 4, and it's going to
Yeah.
directly be a sequel to like 3 and
Well, sure.
after that.
I don't know. I mean, it's space. You go through a wormhole. Somehow you jump ahead in time. I mean, it's possible.
They'll probably bring it up.
Is,
Be like,
is
hey,
that
it's a
everybody
Jupiter
else's
mission or
pick?
whatever.
Is
Yeah,
Andromeda?
probably, yeah.
Derek, Jeff,
Yeah.
Kyle?
Yeah, Andromeda, 100%.
So
All right.
Dan, any issues with that? You good with that?
I will be traveling in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah,
Just
you
not the
will.
ones that normally count towards that same.
Yeah. All
Star
right.
Wars.
This one's
Thanks,
more
thanks for
Star
coming.
Trek. It's great.
Derek, what are some backlog games for you?
Star Trek's better than Star
We
Wars,
can
anyways.
we
right?
can force you to try.
Oh, well, I don't know about that. I don't know about that, brother.
So I
like,
want
Kyle.
you guys to pick from Elden Ring, Bloodborne, Dark
God
Souls
damn it.
Remastered, Dark
Couldn't
Souls 2,
go
and
one
Dark Souls
goddamn
3.
episode without hearing
I
that.
have barely touched.
I picked Sekiro. Good luck.
Yeah, and you have to beat it
You already did.
again.
without
hey,
cheating.
okay, I'm at the end boss.
Neo 2.
All right, so mine being serious, I have played a lot of hours of these first two, but I never beat them, so that's like what I talked about, the weight of them. They're on me. A
Okay.
Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time,
Ooh.
Metal Gear Solid,
Oh,
Bravely Default 2, The Council, Octopath Traveler.
I would
The
just
first
immediately
two I
say Metal
played
Gear
a lot of
Solid,
hours.
but that's hard to get a hold of a copy
What was
of.
the one? What was the one after Metal Gear Solid before?
Bravely Default 2.
Oh, Bravely
Oh.
Default.
Metal Gear Solid would just be hard to get a copy of, so like I feel like if I just cast
I
a
don't
vote to
want to
that,
wait for that one until it's like remastered. I know it's coming.
I mean, I pick
keep
Ocarina.
waiting.
Ocarina
Yeah,
of Time is one of my favorite games of all time. So.
Dan
might
says
also be
Ocarina.
hard. It might also be hard to get a copy of. I don't know the availability.
Well, it's no, it's not.
on the
Is it?
Switch, right?
Is it on the
It's
Switch?
on the 3D. It's on the 3DS, and it's entombed there. Is the last console.
Isn't it? Isn't it on the N64?
You can play
Yeah,
on
it is.
Switch
Switch
Online.
Yeah, it is.
Switch
Oh, I
Online.
didn't think about that. Yeah, on the Switch.
Yeah.
Or- I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
you
they
could get
just updated it.
you could get the PC whatever version, super legally, I'm sure.
Emulator,
yeah.
yeah.
Master Quest version, and it makes
Dude, emulators never work for me unless somebody wants to come over my house and get them to work. They never
It
work.
almost always breaks my computer somehow. So I
So
stay away
I
from them a
don't
lot.
mess with them.
My
at
brother
all.
runs it through its own like pie, and
Okay, yeah.
it's its own separate
What flavor
thing.
is that pie?
Like
Raspberry
a
usually.
raspberry. Yeah.
Piratey.
cream.
Pirate.
Uh,
God damn
actually,
it.
out of all these, I kind of wanted to pick Metal Gear Solid, but you're
Yeah.
saying
So do I.
you want to wait on that one?
Well,
Well, that
I
would-
mean,
It would be
I
hard
would
to
have
get,
to
right?
buy
If you have a
it.
GameCube, you can pay for the Twin Snakes version for like $80 and
Yeah,
play
it's
that one.
expensive.
I used to have that, and I think I have it on PlayStation Digital. I don't. Can you down? You can't. No, you
No,
can't
you would need,
download
like, a
on the
Vita.
PS5.
I'm
need
telling
a
you,
Vita.
that game is really hard to play for whatever
Or a
reason.
PS3.
Down.
You would need
All
a
right,
Vita
so
or a PS3.
scratch Metal Gear Solid. I'm taking it.
No,
off.
you don't take it off. Just we won't choose it. That's all.
Yeah.
Just because it's hard to. We want you to play what we choose. So.
Jeff, what do you think?
Oh God, I have no opinions on this. I didn't. I have. I barely touched Octopath, and that's the only one I've touched.
Kyle, what
Yeah.
are you thinking?
So I don't know.
Give them to me one more time.
So we got Link to the
Link
Past,
to the
Ocarina,
Past.
Metal Gear Solid, Council,
Ocarina.
Octopath,
Just do
or Bravely
Ocarina.
Default.
Yeah,
Ocarina
definitely
time.
Yeah, have a little respect for the Z targeting in that game, and that's why we have that now. Great, it's cool.
That sounded
I
sarcastic.
think
No,
yeah,
it's not. It's,
Oh, okay.
like it created like in a
Yeah.
way, like it
All right.
created, defined, and
Derek,
made
have you
me-
gotten to the water
Absolutely.
temple in Ocarina yet?
Oh, jeez.
Like 20 years ago.
use a guide?
That's going to be a while anyways.
Metal Gear Solid's on GOG.
Yeah.
To-
Oh, GOG.
To play on
It's
PC.
$10. Yeah.
Really?
That's the one I need to choose. That
I
one.
bet you I own it.
Metal
Let
Gear
me
Solid.
check.
Metal Gear Solid. Choose that one.
Metal,
Wait,
It's
you
10,
can
it
play it
looks
on-
like the one that you're
play it
talking
on
about. I
PC?
mean,
Metal Gear
yeah,
Solid?
it's
Really?
on GOG. It's $10.
Dude, if you could play Metal Gear on PC, then I mean,
Yeah, that's. I never knew it was on PC. That's crazy.
I personally would still pick. I'm sorry, Ocarina.
I
Time.
just searched for it and it popped up, and it's I don't know if that's outside the store or something. That it's where the hell
Metal
is my
Gear.
GOG?
Yeah, it says $10. Yeah, on
Yeah.
GOG.com.
That one. Choose that one.
All right.
I would
what's
choose that
the
one just
Metal
because I'm
Gear?
curious what anybody else would say about it.
Dude, I kind of want to
statistically.
buy it right now.
It is so ahead of its time. When you're
Oh,
playing
yeah.
that game, just always go. This game came out in 1999. It'll
Yeah.
blow
Yeah.
your mind. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
use
kinda
a
almost
use
want
a
to buy it.
guide for it because some of the stuff.
It's very obtuse. Like where to go next in that game.
Cloud
Very
saves,
obtuse.
Controller support. Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, I bought it. Yeah, I own it. Whoops.
I thought you. Now that I remember it, didn't you say that you bought like you planned on playing?
Yeah,
these
I
or-
bought Metal Gear, the first one, like just Metal Gear, and Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, Metal Gear. That's old.
Yeah, it's super old. It's probably not wise to play that one. Just skip it.
No, that game's awful. Yeah.
Well, there it
Actually, you know
is.
what? Ocarina, Derek wouldn't like anyways because you have Navi who's just like, listen, and Derek could be like, I'm not listening, so you can shut the hell up.
Or whenever you accidentally say, "I didn't hear all that" to the owl, and he's like, "Well, let me tell you all that again, cowboy."
Yeah, right.
See,
And then you
text.
do it again, and then you do it again.
So maybe, I mean, if you're cool with it looking like the way it looks, because it's an old game, just play. I would say Metal Gear Solid.
I was just gonna say, I still think for what it is, Metal Gear kind of does hold up. I don't think it's
Narratively, it holds
I mean,
up.
compare. Well, but I'm saying compare like Final Fantasy VII to like Metal Gear. I mean, they're almost like it almost seems like two different systems, almost.
It
but,
does. You're right. Yeah,
you know?
he really pulled a lot of power out of that game.
Yeah.
System. Excuse me.
Yeah, I'm still not seeing it on GOG for sale. I'm seeing it listed.
I
just don't
see it. $9.99.
Yeah.
Well, then that's my pick because I think that's the one that you're most likely to perhaps
Short too. You could blow through that game in like
get
6
through it.
hours with a guide, 4 hours if you're really rushing.
Yeah.
Put some cheats on. I don't know.
Did you say if
So
I'm really Russian? Okay.
Yeah, like rushing without
Duh.
a G.
Duh.
Oh,
It is.
Russian.
It is.
Yeah.
Trump paid me $30 to say that on. So.
God damn
If
it.
you're really Russian.
If
right.
you're really Russian.
And last but not least, Kyle, give us some games to choose from, and then we will say.
I stole one from you, Tim Prey, because that game is so up my alley. Like, I want to know about clones and Groundhog Day type games. That seems cool. Probably never get to it. Whatever. Half-Life Alyx. I wish there was a way I could play it. It's just.
Do you have VR?
I not a PC that could run it, which is the only way to run it. So it's
Does
not
that count?
I mean, I have it on
can't
there
really-
because it's on my backlog.
You can't
I
pick it
don't
for
have
you.
a 5th game, so take it or leave it.
Okay, all right. Fair enough. We're gonna go with 4 for you. Go ahead.
Fatal
Yeah,
Frame
Kyle's
made-
getting real aggressive here.
Fatal Frame. Well, we're like 2.5 hours in.
Fatal
we can,
Frame?
We can talk about how I don't have it, but yeah, Fatal Frame Maiden, the newer one, the one that just
Yeah, yeah,
re-released on Switch. That was on Wii U.
Yeah.
I like that series. Never played it. Would like to play that. Doom Eternal. Please don't make me play this game. I played like an hour of it. Hated it. Hated everything about it.
So why are you putting it on the list?
Because it's heralded.
Because
as
maybe it's
great
good,
computer,
yeah.
You know, yeah, and maybe if I put 2 more hours in, I'll love it. You know. And then Zelda Skyward Sword. I put 2 hours into this game, and I was like, no. But I want to play it because I know the story is really good, and I love Zelda games. So.
All right.
So Prey, Half-Life Alyx, Fatal Frame Maidens, Doom Eternal, Zelda Skyward Sword.
Dan, what do you think? Prey, Fatal Frame, Doom Eternal, Skyward Sword. I'm not even listing Half-Life Alyx because we
Plague
picked
Tale.
it.
Plague Tale. Put Plague Tale up there.
Oh, I'll put Plague Tale instead of Half-Life.
Yeah, dude. Plague
Oh.
Tale. Yeah, Plague Tale. There we go. Plague Tale.
That changes things. That changes things.
I picked Plague Tale.
Because I forgot that was the one that was kind of nagging Kyle over.
Yeah,
like,
I only
yeah.
have like an hour. I'm only an hour into that
Okay.
game, and I love
Yeah.
that first hour.
Yeah,
What are you
Plague
gonna say,
Tale.
Derek?
I still think Zelda Skyward.
Skyward Sword.
I was low key hoping I were gonna choose that, so I just have to buy it and play it. So,
So I am split between because you said I'm curious to hear what you think about Prey because that's also one that I want. So that's just selfish. I just kind of want to hear someone else who hasn't
yeah,
played it.
that's like why I'm
So
going with
curious
Metal Gear
about it.
for Derek.
But
yeah.
I got to go Plague Tale. I feel like you need to play that game. It's yeah.
Alright.
And Derek's saying Skyward Sword. So since it's split, even though they're more towards Plague Tale, you can ultimately decide which one do you want to go for.
all right.
Skyward
I'll-
Sword or Plague Tale? Which one?
I'll feel it out. Let's say Plague Tale, but if I buy Skyward Sword, that's the one I'm gonna do.
Okay, fair enough. Plague Tale. I'll put in parentheses maybe
Yeah.
Skyward Sword.
Possibly Skyward Sword.
So you don't
Because I
own
hear
that one yet.
Skyward Sword gets really good. Like the dungeons are really good in that game. I hear.
Yeah.
I remember being in Skyloft and going like, "Ooh, I hate all this. I do not like this."
All right, guys. So next time you're on the show, so if for whatever reason, if one or more of us can't be here next week, then it's the next time we're on the show. You have to report back on your experience with one of these games. Dan, you're playing Mass Effect Andromeda. Derek, you're playing Metal Gear Solid. Jeff, you're playing BioShock. Kyle, you're playing Plague Tale or maybe Skyward Sword, depending on what kind of mood you're in. And I'm playing Sleeping Dogs.
These
Pretty good
are
list.
great. Everyone's got a real
Yeah.
treat ahead of them if
Yeah.
they follow through.
Yeah. Yeah, this is pretty fun.
I can't wait for your Sleeping Dog. Like I've just so many impressions I can't wait for, and
Yeah. Sleeping Dogs.
It's one of those games that I'm like, why haven't I played this yet? It's one of
You're
those
gonna-
games.
It's so good, and like if you like Hong Kong action flicks, like this is the
Yeah.
video game version.
I was just
great.
I could not believe the fighting style was like because I bought it on a whim, just on a sale on Steam.
It's got an Arkham Asylum fighting
and then when I
style.
played, yeah, exactly. When I played the fighting, I was like, why is nobody talking about this game? Like it just blew my mind that it was like that
Yep.
good and nobody was talking about
I've
it.
got it sitting here on Steam right now. I've owned it for a while. I'm just gonna go ahead and start the download as soon as we get out of here. So
Sweet.